The Force Awakens introduced us to Snap Wexley, Jess Pava, and a handful of other pilots. In The Last Jedi, they were nowhere to be seen, so what were they doing while the Raddus fled the Supremacy? The Poe Dameron comic's final arc fills us in. When the Resistance leaders realized the First Order had already regrouped after Starkiller Base's destruction, Poe developed his plan to delay the Dreadnought while the ground crew evacuated. His squad mates, Snap, Jess, Carey, and Suralinda wanted to fly with him, but Leia requested that instead they reach out to any allies they might have before Snoke could consolidate his power. Poe didn't hear from them until after the Battle of Crait aboard the Millennium Falcon, where he received a message. Their first stop was a planet called Pastoria, which was home to an influential leader and abundant fuel resources. Unfortunately, the Pastorians were in the midst of a small civil war, so the king requested Black Squadron's aid against the terrorists attacking his court. They obliged, but learned after the fact that they had been tricked. The so-called terrorists were actually fighting against the king, who had decided to side with the First Order. With them gone, he was free to surrender without opposition, hoping to spare the lives of his people. Black Squadron left Pastoria and headed for the planet Ikruk, where they picked up a distress call from Grail City. It was already under attack from the First Order, showing that Snoke and his fleet chasing the Raddus in The Last Jedi was only a detour from their ultimate goal. The rest of their military power was focused on conquering the galaxy. In the case of Grail City, the First Order was assisted by Ikruk's sympathizers on the ground who worked to shut down the power grid. Snap and Carey engaged the fighters in atmosphere, while Jess and Suralinda landed to engage the ground forces. The last message Poe saw from Jess put them in a dire situation, so Poe convinced Leia to let him save his friends on the basis that they could show the galaxy that no one will get left behind by the Resistance. She agreed and promoted him back to commander, but would not allow him to risk the Falcon or the people on it. Poe was able to call in a favor from Gracchus the Hutt since Black Squadron helped break him out of jail 20-something issues ago, borrowed a starfighter, helped Snap and Carey take down the First Order heavy cruiser, and together they secured Grail City. Before heading back to the Resistance, Poe thought about what it takes to save the galaxy, and confirmed that he now knows it's not about a few notable heroes, but it's about everyone. If everyone did their part to choose right over wrong and left their own slice of the galaxy brighter than they found it, the war would be won. I found the Poe Dameron series to be up and down throughout its 31-issue run. Some arcs were fantastic and some were just so-so, but the last 6 issues left the series on a very high note. The only problem I had with them was the fact that Suralinda was shot in the chest but shook it off like it was nothing. I made the joke in my August canon update that her species could have 2 hearts or something, but yeah, I guess we have to chalk her survival up to squamata physiology. But that's a nitpick anyway. I'm not going to remember the final arc for who did and didn't survive. I'll remember it for being our first look at the galaxy after The Last Jedi, and by the way, the last issue did bring up some interesting points that may come back, but I'll cover those in an upcoming video. I'll also remember this series for its final pages, telling the galaxy and its readers that being heroic isn't about personal glory, but it's about making the world better for the people around us, and that sometimes the best thing we can do is provide an example for those that need it. Like I said, I'll be talking about the Poe Dameron comic off and on over the next week or two. We'll look back at the series' best moments, and we'll look forward to what it might have revealed to us about future Star Wars content. But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.